Hello and welcome. My name is Marisha. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm sharing with you 3 fun ways to incorporate striped backgrounds to your card projects. Let's go ahead and get started. Scrapbook.com gets an A+ in my book for their unique striped cover plate dies. They have so many to choose from. On their site, you will find the Bold Curves die. This is the die that we're using today to create our card projects. There's also the thick and thin strips, so you have your thick stripes and your thin stripes. Wavy with dots, very unique background. I love this cover plate as well. Next, we have the horizontal stripes with rounded corners. Another one of my faves, which I've used several times, is the quarter slanted strips. And finally, the vertical stripes with rounded corners. Off camera, I used Lawn Fawn's canned pumpkin, guava, and apricot cardstock to die cut the stripes from the Bold Curves die set. I'm now going to bring in a panel in which I'm going to position the stripes on. In no particular order, I'm going to place a different colored stripe on the panel. And I encourage you that if you're going to recreate this project, to use any colored cardstock of your choosing. Now I'm adding double-sided adhesive tape to my panel. Once I remove the release tape, I'm then going to adhere the strips to the panel. Another option you have to adhere your stripes to your panel is to use liquid adhesive, or you can use a tape runner. Once I'm done creating this background, I'm going to create 2 more panels, and then once I'm done, it is on to the next step. For my first card, I'm going to use a sentiment from Scrapbook.com's Thank You No. 3 Sentiment die set. For the first panel, I used a stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn. And I'm also going to use Scrapbook.com's Sprigs die set to die cut a few sprigs. I used Spellbinder's glitter black foam to die cut the sentiment, and now I'm adhering the sentiment to a white halo background. I'm then going to adhere a few sprigs to my panel, and then I'm going to adhere the sentiment. From there, I'm going to adhere the panel to my card base, which is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding card base. I added a few half gold pearls, making the first card complete. For the second card project, I used a smaller rectangle die to die cut the panel. Off camera, I created an oval frame using the stitched border die set from Lawn Fawn along with an oval die. I then adhered a gold sprig to the panel. I then adhered the frame, and then I adhered the entire panel to a gold mat. I was then trying to figure out the placement of the sentiment, and one fun thing I found out about this foam is that it bends. Look at that. Look at how neat that is. So if you want to create a sentiment that curves, you might want to try foam. Yes, this gave me so many ideas while I was working with it, but I decided to go another way with the placement of the sentiment. But yeah, check that out. That would be so neat. A sentiment that curves. I decided to add white cardstock to create a shadow, and then I placed the sentiment on my card with a few pearls. Card number 2 is now complete. Now it's time for our final card. For the final panel, I'm going to bring in Scrapbook.com's Rose Blossoms stamp set, and I'm going to position the largest stamp on my panel. I'm then going to bring in Hero Arts Hero Hues Unicorn Pigment ink. And once I finish inking up my stamp, I'm then going to stamp the image on my panel. And I decided to stamp twice just to make sure I had a crisp impression. You have the option to leave the image as is, or you can bring in clear embossing powder, which is what I decided to do. And I'm going to sprinkle the powder on the panel. I'm going to tap off the excess, apply heat with my heat tool to melt the powder. And then from there, I'm going to adhere the sentiment. I'm then going to adhere the panel to a gold postage frame mat. Once I adhere my card front to my card base, off camera I decided to add splatter to the card. So I used the same Hero Hues pigment ink to create the splatter. And here is the final result of this card project. And let's recap the first two cards that were created. I like them all, but I think I like this one the best, the one in the center. Let me know which one is your favorite and your thoughts on adding stripe backgrounds to your card projects. Thank you for joining me on today. I appreciate you as always for stopping by. I thank you in advance for subscribing, clicking the thumbs up button and the notification bell so you never miss out on new tutorials. Please feel free to check out my blog at thediaryofbellerose.com. I am sending you love and a whole lot of hugs. Until the next crafty project, please take care.